Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. We're in the bookstore. We recently dealt with a fucking mysterious entity. It turned out to be a novelty dice maker, and well, we got a thought that we're working on. Only 2% in. We got quite a bit to go there, and it causes all red checks to fail. That's a bit scary. I was thinking of maybe buying a book. So I'm gonna have to remind myself.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hjelmdal somewhere.
I am interested in Hjelmdalerman, the man from Hjelmdal. This was the games, right?
Of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games.
That's very expensive. As much as I want it, I need to be able to pay rent.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposed...
I haven't asked her, what's all this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
I don't know if they do.
Note, reading about Dick Mullen would not actually
Thank you.
make you a better detective.
$7.99. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. Fascists?
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Anything of note on this
I
shelf?
would say the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Innocentic power. Who or what is an innocence?
Very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I don't quite understand this. I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Yes.
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
I guess.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Curious. $4.70 is the cheapest book
This book
on offer
is
yet.
not
No.
strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range.
Should I buy a book? Let's keep books in mind. We can get one for as cheap as $4.20. I think I'm gonna go check out that door that the Union man wanted us to open. The Weasel door. You're still here, don't you have anything better to do?
Trying to sneak up on me again!
Ah, shit. Accidentally. Shift plus tab does something on Steam. Not sure why.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place.
I'm gonna use the...
Green from sea air. And there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
How about I carefully knock first?
You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
I guess no one is in.
Lieutenant, what is your opinion of this task we're undertaking?
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but Every day tells you something new about yourself.
So the guy... He's a strikebreaker, is that it? And it's to intimidate. I'm not super comfortable with it.
Working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about.
Not something you're squeamish about. Apparently, he says. So you don't mind if I unlock the door?
I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it. On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrard we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it.
Lie to Evrard? That's also an option?
Yes. Presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this. Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door. I don't know. You're a pretty good liar. Are you as good an infiltrator as you are a liar?
I press my ear against the door.
The upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
Are we being tailed? Do we open the door? I kinda really don't want to. I don't want to do the busy work of Evrard. On the other hand, do we open the door? Fuck. I'm so indecisive. But I'm gonna have to... I keep quick saving because I'm nervous.
The door to the weasel's den. You try to be as silent as you can.
I'm opening it.
It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
I like where your head is at, logic.
As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft, a whistle.
I want to go in. I want to know what's up with this. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Who doesn't?
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Interesting. Tap on the mugs?
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable.
Why?
There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn.
Disdainful? What do I mean? What do I mean uncomfortable?
It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people.
Huh. I wish I could see the pictures. But if that's what conceptualization says, I guess I'll believe it. Cynical, slippery bastard, I'll say.
You ain't gonna change someone's mind by calling them a bastard. The lieutenant
That's true.
picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Ooh, whip out Yellow Man mug and compare.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
Okay,
Same humor,
okay, then I'm convinced.
lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
Curious.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
I suppose.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
That's also an option. Do you really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from these clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Indeed. This might be this thread.
You could ask Evra who this person is once you're done here.
I could. What else do we have? Book title: The Hidden World of Walking Sticks. Can almost feel the warmth of red sun.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What is the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw.
Oh.
It happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Isn't that a real thing? I think it's happened in Sweden not too long ago. Something similar, at least. A certain light phenomena due to cold weather. Was it last year or the year before that? I can't remember.
It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomena of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth, and blue flares.
Lieutenant, it's the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Right wing, huh? I don't have a particular desire to bow down before the flag, so I
The
won't.
flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Like all feudal flags. Isn't feudal flags... Aren't a lot of feudal flags just like fields or stripes with some... perhaps with some heraldry on it? I don't know. Is it a feudal flag if it's a national flag? I guess the king could be... a suzerain. No, that's... feudal might be the right word. Don't know what this is. Oh, that's in... Let's start with this room. Ooh. Ooh. Present spotless, gleaming white shirt, the kind that serious men wear at serious intersolary offices. Not yes, piss doctor. You know what? That's an improvement. And it gives me +1 logic. Good with numbers. I can put the tank top on if I ever need to do something physical. I keep doing quick saves, I'm nervous. Small suitcase full of clothes. Guest staying over? Maybe he's leaving? What's up with this? Oh, is this like one of those handles for getting out of bed? Maybe our guy is handicapped to some degree? Physically disabled? Oh, magnesium. Should I pop one? I don't know. I'm doing okay so far. So we got a old school nationalist with a racist streak, I guess. Maybe it's okay to have broken into his house. Is this because I'm... Let's pop one. Now what? Do we go back to Evrach? Am I wearing the best possible pants? minus one savoir-faire, +1 electric. I think I want my reaction speed more than I want my savoir-faire. But wearing pants apparently is related to drugs. Are you sure you guys don't know about the tattoos? Is the tattoo actually?
An intricate web, it still kind of looks like an for you to discover. Someone close to the victim might know. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
No. It's not the sun thing. I was just thinking. I'm gonna talk to this gentleman again.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer already. How can I help you?
Oh, should we push this? You mentioned Jean-Marie Beaulieu. Who is that?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
What happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful.
Pneumonia.
René and I were both by her bedside when she...
He pauses, searching for the right word.
No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
Why do you think she was indecisive?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
That is a bit odd.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
Pastries. 5 more points for another.
He suddenly remembers you are still there. Falls silent and turns away.
This is a silly question to ask now. Thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer.
Ooh, there's my...
Are all we have left.
So you know what? Oh, autosave. I am thinking I might be able to do this shit. I'm gonna quick save first. I might regret this.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
8% is not 3%.
Corpse hidden inside. You touched the dead man's body.
It'll come to you sooner or later.
Let's give this a few tries. Because I can.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
At the very least, it's the kind of check where there's not a whole ass animation that's gotta happen. Should I save after? No.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
No, not logic. Perception.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
What do I need? 11?
Man's body is
It'll come to you sooner or later.
I really just want to know, and I don't particularly want the body to stay here too long.
the bear's eyes are still glowing red.
2, 3 more tries maybe?
The bear's eyes are still. You touch
That's
the
1.
His skin is cold, light blue and silver.
Actually, will I? I don't know if I will take that morale damage regardless.
Eyes are still glowing red. You touch the dead man.
There's the failure.
His
What was that? 2. Secret difficulty modifiers.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freeze. You touch the dead man's.
2 more tries. I said two more. I really just want to know what's going on. So curious.
The bear's eyes are still glowing. You touch the dead man's body.
How hard can it be to roll 11? Or 12? Well, this is 1 in 12. Have I done 12 yet? I don't think I have.
The bear's eyes are still glowing. You touch the dead man's.
It'll
What's
come
that,
to you
like
sooner or
8? Should I do 4 more?
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's your arms.
Holy shit.
And your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Crawl up his nostrils?
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
I guess I'll push.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Fingers in mouth?
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Cool. Open my eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost
Ooh.
vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
Was he shot in the mouth?
An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar? I'm gonna say abrasion collar.
Abrasion color.
There's a pen in his hand, his notebook is open, and a copy paper. And I touch it with my finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put my finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem.
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Feel around first.
Basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Indeed. Of course, conceptualization would say that. Push deeper.
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
My limbic system talks to me.
This is what he used to regulate his emotions with.
He used to.
The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity, cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
I can't believe just yesterday I puked like 4 times trying because of the smell of the body. And a wriggling.
The fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your
Ew.
wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
I'm gonna inspect the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
High, 72%. It's a 9. It's interfacing, in which we have 2 plus 1. We got plus 3. We gotta hit 9. We gotta roll 6 or better. We can roll 6 or better. Come on. What do you mean failure? This is a
Push your
red
hand
check.
further in. Whatever is in there keeps rolling between your fingers as you beckon it to come out.
A little help, Lieutenant?
Out comes his small folding knife. The lieutenant moves its blade across the man's skull, searching for the exit wound.
There, no towards protrusion.
Withdraw your hand 4 centimeters, please.
Pull fingers back in
With a
mode.
crack, he punches the knife in the skull. Then, one more time, and one more, until the bone comes loose, like eggshell. Inside, you feel the jelly move from his poking.
Just, I forgot about this shit, and I didn't realize this was a red check.
Can you push it out?
Push.
A small flower of metal blossoms from the man's head, followed by your yellow finger.
A bullet. A non-calibre. Rifled. You may remove your hand from the victim's head now, officer. Well done. Here is your prize.
Drops the bullet in the... Is this an interactable?
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right, Jesus.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right is fucking right.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Ligament mark, fractured hyoid bone, was all treatment.
Yes, and the the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
No, I agree. Or he might have been shot in the yard. No, there would have been fucking reports of that. You think so?
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost.
Indeed.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle.
That's true.
I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Hand-eye coordination. Who would do
That's
this?
for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Why would anyone do this?
To hide something. The real killer, the real motivation, what really happened here.
I think I need to wash myself.
You really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Quite. What happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
He looks me in the eye.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
We need to talk to this guy in the evening. I want Kim with me for that. Once I have some privacy, so I don't want Kim with me for that. Okay, we've made some excellent progress though. I also kind of want his boots. We can inspect the bullet. I'm gonna quick save again. I don't think we missed out on much by failing that red check, but that was dangerous and I should have kept that in mind before. It's fine, it's fine. We made it out okay. Now. Oh. Postcard. Interact with the evidence.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
Good.
Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
Feel the bullet.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
What do I do with your bullet?
What?
I said what I do with your bullet.
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Perform a ballistics analysis. Gonna inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
What does that mean? The jacket of the bullet? I'm sorry. I'm gonna Google real quick. Bullet jacket. Full metal jacket ammunition. Small arms projectile consisting of a soft core, often lead, in an outer shell. Huh. A bullet jacket usually allows higher muzzle velocities than bare lead without depositing significant amounts of metal in the bore? Oh, okay, in the actual gun. It also prevents damage to bores from hard steel or armor-piercing core materials. Okay. I'm gonna look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
Okay, and the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
Jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
What about the gun we have?
We were right. This came from a serious weapon. Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
I don't know what breech loading means.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Okay, we know some things. I'm gonna quick save again. Advance. Is that a red check? How do I know?
In a plastic bag bearing the RC. You can't remember what happened last week.
I just wanna roll a successful number so I know if this is a red check or not. Is that cowardly? Probably.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic
Have a
bag
similar rifle on hand.
RCM stamp.
Gives me a big +4. Aware of the name of the antique rifle, am I gonna... Fuck. Ah! Is this a breech loading? I don't know what that means.
The bullet is still safely sealed away.
+6.
Bearing
I need
the
to roll
RCM
8.
stamp.
No? I need to roll 7.
You can't remember what happened.
I need to roll 7. I can do that. That's the average roll on 2 6-sided dice. Man, I'm fucking safe scumming like a motherfucker.
The bullet
I'm a big
is still
coward.
safely sealed away. A rifle, revolutionary.
It is a white check.
Your bullet
Well, I could try...
an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Meg?
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian.
It's what I have.
The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone still making these?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses Bell McGraw rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking?
I think I know where this came from.
Okay. And?
Shot probably came from a Bell McGraw rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachon, really.
That's probably a good
I
thing.
have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
So the use of muzzle-loaded weapons is not a technology level thing, it's a ban.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Worth what? Getting shot?
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier.
I guess I do like that the police does not have more powerful guns than anyone else.
Back to the investigation.
Seems we're looking for an antiques enthusiast.
Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Alright. Well. Do I go? No. Let's go the other way. How are we doing on... We're 50 experience in. Perception. Do we have any other perception checks that have become available now? Composure. Oh, we can do the Renee thing? I don't want to send away Kim with a body quite yet. As my plan stands, I'm still thinking about getting the boots as well. Before we quit for today, let's... Oh, actually, quick save, just in case.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you?
Still, all you
Anything else I can assist?
It's fine. Just a harsh. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna save here. We have a few things we could do next time. Also, getting pretty close on this, less than an hour. And less than 3 hours on this. I think we made some excellent progress. I will see you next time.